What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Hard Count. Hosting, as always, it's your boy Connie, and right below me, my boy CJ. How are we doing there, brother?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Doing well.
We're doing well. Pats win. We'll get into that. 'Tis the season to be jolly, of course, as well.
Yes, sir.
Now, CJ, before we get into it, I got a very important question for you. Where do we stand on Christmas movies? How do we feel about them?
Growing up, I used to watch them, but as I got older, not so much.
Come on.
I'm just watching the NBA games, But Christmas movies, I haven't really seen them in a minute. But definitely when I start a family and do things like that, I'll probably run it back.
Can't get my man interested in a little bit of Grinch or anything like that, huh?
Oh yeah. If it's on, and I'm not, I'll definitely throw it on. Jim Carrey, yeah, definitely. Christmas Story, a couple classics for sure. But I'm not necessarily looking for them. You feel me?
You're not out here actively searching for the Christmas.
Yeah, not so much. But back in the day, young CJ, little kid CJ for sure. But nah, man, we just cooling out.
You know what? It's all right. But I had to ask. Big Christmas guy here.
Of course.
Like I said, CJ, 'tis the season. Listen. Throw on the Grinch. I'm with it. A little Disney's A Christmas Carol. I'm there. Polar Express, one of my personal favorites. I'm there. I'm all day. So I gotta throw them out there. But like you said,
sure.
If something else is on, I gotta watch that. Just like I was watching our boys last night. And CJ, we always do start with that Monday night game. And well, I'll be honest with you, CJ. It's a good thing that we usually do because I'll be real with you. I don't know how you feel about it. The games this week,
kind of
mid. You want to talk about mid at best. So that's tough. But we can start off with our boys. Before we do that, obviously, people, listen, if you're watching, we love to interact with the people. So make sure, you follow us everywhere you can. Got the Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube, the Twitch. We're on Colorcast as well. Yes, sir. Doing big things over here on the Colorcast side of things as well. Just an audio version of what we're doing here. So, maybe if you don't think that, we're the best looking people out there, you can just listen to us. I mean, although I think me and CJ killing the game visually. I'm just saying. It's your loss.
Exactly.
But check us out over here on Colorcast as well. You can check all of us out. We all got the USN at the end of our names, as we usually do. Got to represent. Yeah. So with that being said, I guess CJ, I'll get you in on the Colorcast. I sent you the link. I believe, or I hope I did at least. And then once we get all set up there, because listen, we can't exclude any of the people. We got to make sure our Colorcast friends have us. We got to make sure that you people watching us have us as well. So I'll get CJ on in here, and then we're gonna take off right into the football because although it was a midweek, we had some important things happening during this nice week of football. So I'll wait.
Yeah, I sent the request, so whenever you're ready.
See, here's the thing. You don't say it's awkward because now you don't even say you're in here. We'll get it figured out. We'll jump into it then. We're going to go right ahead on into it. So we start off, like I said, with our boys. A nice little, nothing like a nice little nor'easter on a Monday night to really make it a football game. A lot more mid than it should have been. Now listen, our boys won. So am I happy about it? Well, of course I am. But CJ, if you're not a fan of the Bills or the Pats, I don't blame you. I'm not going to lie to you. If you turn the game off, I'm not going to lie to you. At one point, I believe we ran the ball 34 straight plays before Mac threw another pass. So it definitely got a little interesting over there with the play calling. But hey, I got some takeaways from this game. But CJ, I want to hear what you think about everything because I tend to go on tangents, and you're much more deliberate with your speak. I might say.
Yeah, it was smash mouth football from New England right away. You look at before the game started, the wind was crazy. Gust everywhere. I think it was like 50 miles per hour. I think Adam Schefter posted a little video on Twitter of the goalpost shaking. So I'm like, all right, yeah, it's gonna be a run game. This is gonna be a low scoring game. It's gonna come down to which defense makes enough plays and who's able to establish the line of scrimmage at the point of attack from the jump. And New England was able to do that. I mean, Damian Harris had a big run off the toss, cut back, sent it to the crib for 67 yards. And that kind of set the tone to start off early. Unfortunately, N'Keal Harry, tried to get away from the ball, and unfortunately,
the football still on N'Keal Harry.
The football still hit him in the helmet, and it put them in good position to score that touchdown. And Josh Allen threw the touchdown to Gabe Davis before that touchdown, we converted the 2-point conversion, which was very key. Another, the toss play right again ran it back. And then, like I said, N'Keal Harry made the mistake and put them, in New England territory, and they were able to score that touchdown. And I just think it was just a hard fought game. I mean, it was ugly. It was ugly at times. Sometimes Patriots had some negative yards, but they were able to get 220 yards rushing. When Damian Harris went out with the hamstring injury, Ramondre Stevenson came in there and filled in perfectly. 24 rushes, 78 yards, nothing crazy, but just continuing to establish the run. Those big boys up front, man. David Andrews, Ted Karras, Shaq Mason, Isaiah Wynn, Trent Brown. Those guys deserve all the credit. Jakob Johnson leading the way for the running backs in the backfield. Even the wide receivers, chip blocking on the edges on some of these DBs and safeties. I mean, I can't say enough about how well they executed last night. And it was just perfect execution. These guys the guards pulling, getting to the point of attack, second level, double teaming guys. Buffalo knew what New England wanted to do, and they just weren't able to stop it. And that just comes down to elite execution. Josh McDaniels called a really good game as well. I think there was a couple plays we could have kept some drives going, some holding plays kept them back. But Mac didn't throw the football, and I know I'm watching TV today and all these analysts and so-called football experts.
So-called, he says.
Yeah, they want to talk about Bill doesn't trust Mac throwing the football, and because he doesn't have a strong arm, and always trying to find something to critique the Patriots on. There were times where I wish you would have threw the ball. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. But because you definitely, the way you're running like that, you could pop a little play action and send one to the crib as well. Because you're seeing those linebackers come down, and you do a quick little pass to one of the tight ends or something to Kendrick Bourne or something like that. Get one of those speedy guys, and you could take one to the crib as well and really open the game up. Because I think the defense did a great job of really containing the Buffalo, especially in the red zone. But it didn't happen. Bill and Josh felt like they were really getting positive yards and being productive at the point of attack, running the football, and it wasn't like Buffalo was putting up a crazy amount of points. Other than that touchdown that they had because of N'Keal Harry's mistake, it was really just 3 points. I mean, if you look at it that way, the Patriots only gave up 3 points. I mean because again that punt was such a huge thing because you just put them right there. And I mean, yeah, they're going to score. But right before that, when they were about to punt, we only got an easy 3-and-out. And, it looked like, we was about to break the game open just because off the touchdown that Harris had the series before. But, yeah, this game was one in the trenches. I posted it on my story after the game on IG. Just a big time game. Bill Belichick did a great job calling the game. We didn't have too many mistakes. We didn't have too many penalties that kept us back and kind of reset some drives. Because if you're running the football like that, you could have a lot of holding calls. You could have a lot of illegal formations. You could have so many things that could go wrong when you're running the football like that so many times. And really didn't have that many penalties. Had a holding call on Jonnu Smith when Ramondre Stevenson broke one. He was going crazy. And, again,
big Ramondre guy.
Big Ramondre guy, of course. Big Ramondre guy, rookie as well, being so productive.
In
just
the
like
doghouse the first few weeks of the season, too, especially after that fumble week 1.
Yes, sir. Yeah, healthy scratch for a few weeks after the week 1 fumble, like you alluded to. And, for him to bounce back, it just speaks to his mental toughness and, what he was able to do in Harris' replacement after going down, him continuing to play well, get some positive yards, after contact, just guys bouncing off him. They don't, these DBs and safeties, they don't want to go through that the whole entire game. They're not ready to hit like that the whole entire game. They want to drop back in coverage and look at things real fast. They don't want to be in a box and be able to make tackles. A lot of these safeties don't want to do that. There's not a lot of thumpers at that safety position like we're accustomed to seeing back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s like that. So, and even back before our time in the 80s and 90s where the rules were really crazy. Baby. Yeah, exactly. Ronnie Lott, Mel Blount, and those guys, Steeler days. There's not, safeties aren't like that anymore. So they're a lot smaller. So when you're able to run the football and really impose your will on a defense, it creates positive things. And that's what New England was able to do. And like I said earlier, people want to talk about Mac Jones and the arm strength. I think if the time presented itself for us to throw the football, we would have threw the football. I mean, you look at the second and fourth quarter, we were against the win. And you could have easily threw the football there a few times. But it wasn't really needed to. And people say, all he did was just hand the ball off. Well, it's a little bit more than that. I mean, one, you have to check the protection. You have to identify who the mic is. You have to let the offensive line know who to block at certain moments to execute the play before the ball is snapped. Like, just so many people just sit here and just look at it from a surface point of view and just say, all he did was just hand the ball off. I mean, yeah, of course, in retrospect, but before the snap, pre-snap, you got to identify what's going on before you just hike the ball. You can't just hike the ball and just say, okay, F it. Like, here we go. You have to know what's going on. I saw a lot of alerts. We've seen this a lot with Tom.
Yeah.
Back then, you used to say alert. He could have been flipping plays, changing plays. Josh could have gave him 2-3 plays in his helmet to tell him, if you see this, look on this
left,
front.
right, middle.
Yeah, left, right, middle, depending on what's going on, depending on how many defenders are on one side. So just so many things and little intricacies that people don't really look at, and they just look at, on a surface level and just, want to make a hot take. But I think he did a great job. It takes a lot of patience as well to be able to do that. You can't have an ego. And I think it was just a real team win. Just a great team win by the Patriots, divisional game. There was a lot on the line. We could have been the first seed with a win and then the fifth seed with a loss. And for us to go in Buffalo in the cold and do exactly what they should have been doing to us in their environment, I think it was a big time win for the Patriots. And now coming up on this bye, have some time to rest and then go to Lucas Oil Stadium to play the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, you said a lot of the things that I'm thinking. I also sent you a link to the color cast. I think it was a little broken, but things happen out here. But yeah, I take a few things away from this, and one of them being with the whole Mac Jones situation. He threw 3 passes. We threw 1 pass in the entire first half of the game, and you had the people coming out and he doesn't trust Mac, and I think there's a difference because I think early in the season you could see that they didn't trust Mac. They didn't want Mac, doing the things that he's been doing recently too, where he's had some good games passing the ball, throwing for over 300 yards against the Chargers, throwing the 3 touchdowns against somebody. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, was the Browns. The Browns.
The Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he only threw for like 198 yards. I'm pretty sure. Unbelievable. But there was things like that where you could tell, they're not throwing the ball down the field. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. There was a stark difference in you can realize that they don't want Mac to do certain things to last night. You're getting a constant wind of 25 miles per hour and wind gusts 50 to 55. Like, I don't know what you really expected. Like, listen, Bill was trying to give us hints the entire night. He did the pregame, interview with a nice Navy midshipman face mask on. He was trying to tell us that they were going to go with the good old Navy Army triple option run game the entire night. So, there weren't. See, I'm trying. Oh, hold on. See, can I put you on the mic here over in the color cast now? Is this finally going to work? Well, you know what? There might be a dub out here. It might be a dub. But whatever. I'll figure that out later. But and then here's the other thing. If it's not broke, what are you trying to fix? Like it doesn't matter. They ran for 222 yards. I think it was the second possession, right, that they scored that long touchdown with Harris.
Yes,
Yeah. So like there were things like that happening, and we even saw it after the game. The Bills players getting a little testy. Jordan Poyer after the game, somebody else was with him. I can't remember
Micah
who it
Hyde.
was. Micah Hyde, yes. Getting mad at the reporter because he asked him if this was embarrassing and this or that. And listen, first of all, I think they acted like little children because you should be embarrassed. They knew exactly what was going to happen on every single play and gave up 222 yards on the ground. Like, there's a difference. When you play the Titans or a team that runs the ball a lot, they're going to run the ball, of course. But you obviously also know that there's actually a threat to throw the ball. Patriots ran the ball 34 times in a row at one point. 34. You knew that they were running the ball, and they're still they're still doing fine. Now, listen, there was two big runs that kind of helped to that total. I think other than that, they were getting about like 3.8 yards a carry. But hey, let me give you another hint here too. You run the ball 4 times for 3 yards a carry. That's a first down. So it doesn't matter if you had the long runs or not. So I think there was a big difference between what they were doing early on in the season with Mac compared to last night, where it's, listen, he probably doesn't have the strongest arm. He doesn't have, a Josh Allen arm. And I'm going to get to the Bills as well. But there's no point in trying to do something that he's probably not equipped for. And, I saw it today. I was listening to some stuff, just hearing about the Patriots. Mac Jones 5 years ago. Now, listen, that sounds like a long time, but 5 years isn't anything crazy. He tweeted, CJ, he said, "I've never seen snow in my life." That was 5 years ago.
Right, he's from Jacksonville, and then he went to Alabama. So, yeah, he never really experienced that type of weather.
So you think all of a sudden that Mac Jones is going to, pull up to a nor'easter, basically, in Buffalo, snow kind of coming down, wind and everything like that, and all of a sudden put on, 30 for 35? Like, what did you really think was going to happen in this game? And it wasn't stopped. The Bills had 9-man boxes pretty much the entire game. He threw that one pass to Jonnu that got the first down that Jonnu made a great catch on. He threw another pass that, wasn't completed, and then he threw a screen pass.
To Brandon Bolden, yes. Yep.
So, they did what they had to do to win, and that's really all that you're supposed to do every time you go out and play. And then, for the Bills side of things, this is what surprises me the most, right? We understand the strong arm quarterback thing, and everything like that. Aaron Rodgers has a strong arm. He plays in Green Bay. Of course, they need a strong arm QB because he's in Green Bay, and they play in terrible weather all the time. The Bills, they have Josh Allen, Mahomes up in Kansas City. So they have that part with the Bills, right? But we've seen it as Patriot fans. We even saw it last year with Tampa Bay. If you really watched them, that later in the season, they became more physical, started running the football. The Bills haven't had a run game for 2 or 3 years now. They haven't had one since Josh Allen's been there, at least. And, there's people blaming Josh Allen. There's people blaming that's an indictment on the Bills organization, GM, whatever, draft strategists, scouts. That the weather is going to be bad late in the season, and you have no running game. They have 3 running backs that have basically done nothing the entire year. Josh Allen, I believe, is still their leading rusher.
Yeah, but all 3 of their backs are really like third down backs.
Yeah, they're not special. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they don't have like a bruising type back where you could give the push come to shove in these type of games in certain environments where you could give them the rock 20 times, 25 times, and they could have a big game and then work off the play action and things like that. That's just not how they're built. They're not built that way. They're kind of built like Kansas City a little bit. They're very, very
The Bills are very finesse
fortunate.
for a blue collar tough team. You know what I mean?
Right. They're very fortunate that they have, like you look at both teams, they're very fortunate that they have strong arm quarterbacks. And I want to touch on this too about the strong arm quarterback thing. It's only about. Oh, let me ask you, how many strong arm quarterbacks there are in the league right now? I would say what, 5?
All right, so you got Mahomes.
You got Mahomes,
Josh Allen. I still give it to Stafford.
Okay. Herbert.
Yeah, you could say Herbert.
Rodgers,
yes. I'll still put Tom there.
You could put you could throw Tom in there, but it's not on the level. It's a strong arm, but it's not on the level of those guys, you would say. Right?
Hold on. I got distracted. One more time, say it for me.
So we got Josh Allen,
yeah,
Herbert,
Mahomes,
Rodgers, and I think I missed him, and Stafford, right?
I threw Brady in.
And Brady. So 6 guys.
Yeah, I mean,
and the only one only 3 of them have won Super Bowls.
Yep. So, I mean, obviously Herbert, Josh Allen are young, and Stafford played for the Lions, so disgusting.
Right. So, I mean, again, we really don't know how strong his arm is. A lot of people just I feel like a lot of people just like saying that. The man threw 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions at Alabama last year. So it's not like he was throwing 20 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. He was throwing 40 yards. He had 40 touchdowns and over almost 5,000 yards in college, and his first real year as a starter. So I mean, again, and also again, your arm strength also comes a lot on your mechanics too. You could get a stronger arm if you continue to work on your mechanics. That's exactly what happened with Brady. Brady didn't have the strongest arm. Yes, and people always want to compare Brady, but I'm just saying from an arm strength standpoint, in this certain example, like you said, Mac really didn't play in cold type weather. Brady went to Michigan before he came to New England.
Like I said, Mac literally said he had never seen snow 5 years ago. You think that was all of a sudden going to change because he played in New England for half a season?
Right. So it's an adjustment period, and also like I said, it's all mental too. It's all mental too. If he could just continues to work at the little things, he seems like a guy that works at that, the small details. And if he's able to just continue to clean up his mechanics and things like that, his arm will get stronger over time. The older you get, at this point, he's only 23. So you're telling me his arm can never get stronger? I'm not buying it.
Yeah, hit the gym. He has an NFL workout plan now. I mean, let's be real here. We saw Brady come into the league, and listen, I like you said, I hate the comparisons too because I think it's always unfair. I think it's always unfair that we judge quarterbacks or compare them to quarterbacks to each other like their first year. Like, coming out of the draft, Joe Burrow, the next Tom Brady, and, he's built like this guy or that guy. Like, all right, listen, I like the guy too, but because here's the thing, you put them in an impossible situation from a fan standpoint. And listen, that's on us because we usually buy into it, what the sports media says to us and, everything like that, blah, blah. So, Joe Burrow comes out and doesn't lead him to the Super Bowl in their first 3 years. They're like, oh, what happened to him being the next Tom Brady? So I hate the comparisons too, but I mean, there's a lot of similarities there. I mean, this team is built around defense, running the ball and making sure Mac doesn't make mistakes. And I mean, that's literally how the 0-1 Patriot team was built. So I'm not saying they're going to get there, but by the way, CJ, I don't know if you saw this, 10%, which is the most likely Super Bowl so far, is the Patriots and the Bucs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. A lot of things have to happen. The NFC.
I'd pay with my left kidney for that to happen.
For sure. I mean, it'd be a great game. Of course, the storylines would be out of this world. The real Brady versus Belichick. One's going for 8, the other's going for 7. So Of course, it's a big game, rookie quarterback. But I just think right now, it's still a lot of football left, man. It's a lot of football left. Still got to see Buffalo again. Haven't won any type of division title. Haven't clinched the first
Nope.
seed.
Listen,
You know
like
what
I
I'm
said,
saying?
this stretch was the
2-0 right
part
now
of
in
the
the stretch.
schedule. Yes, this was the part of the schedule that was going to make me, believe or not believe. And CJ, can I say this as well? And listen, I know. All right, let me get this out of the way first. I am naturally pessimistic. Like I
Yeah,
never think.
I see in the chats, man. When I check on the
Listen,
chats after the game, man, I'm something going
I am
crazy, yeah.
I am naturally a pessimistic guy. I'm until things actually happen, I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, but once it does, then I celebrate because I like to psych myself out. It makes the highs even higher. Let me tell you though, CJ, because if you can
That's
convince
fair.
yourself nothing's going to happen, then it does. It's one hell of a good time.
That's
But
fair.
but with that being said, this in see if you agree with me here. This can be a good win for the Patriots and not a bad loss for the Bills. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, they're 7-6. They still have to win the division. The division is still there for the taking. I mean, the Miami's right there as well. I look at a lot of these teams in the AFC right now. They're very inconsistent. The Bengals have a great game one moment, then they play how they played on Sunday. Chargers, same thing. Steelers, Ravens. Lamar. If Lamar's not really on and accurate during the game, that game you could win that game easily. Titans don't have their guys, so I've seen a lot of Bills fans, negative. Saying the season is over and things like that. I mean, of course, it's an emotional type thing. It's a Monday Night Football game. Everybody's watching. It's a divisional type game. And off of last year where you swept the Patriots, you felt like, there was a changing of the tide. But, I mean, I still feel like it was a close game. I mean, even when Brady was there the last few seasons, it was close games. It was very close games. So I think it's going to be very competitive between both of these teams for years to come, just because, one, the Bills I feel like they have a really good quarterback. I just think from the Buffalo standpoint, they have to be more physical. They have to go draft a guy, a power back, go draft a power back that could change some things, man, like a LeGarrette Blount type, 3rd and 2 and could, get 25, get 30 and change the complexity of the game, because you don't want Josh Allen to be your power back and your quarterback. you can't ask him to do all that.
I said this last year at the draft, and I would have to go back and look, where this player was drafted and how far back the Bills were. I'm going to do that right now as I say this. But
talking about Najee,
yes,
should have won. Got Najee Harris.
I said that at the beginning of the draft that they should have went and got Najee. That's what they're missing. Listen, they have Diggs, they have Josh Allen. They have, some solid pieces on defense. They had Cole Beasley at the time. Dawson Knox has come out this year. I think they should have went after him. I think it would have been, the perfect type of fit. I mean, I still cannot be convinced otherwise that it wouldn't have been the absolute perfect fit. Like, I just think it really would have worked. It gives them, like you said, it gives them that power back.
Exactly. That's what they need. I said this last week on the show. He
was drafted 24th. The Bills were at 30.
Yes.
That's not possible to trade up from.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, you obviously have to get the Steelers to agree, but
exactly.
That's workable.
Yeah, it could have happened, but I mean, there were other. I mean, Ramondre was there at the 4th round.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? They could have got Ramondre, bro. So it's like, I think Javonte Williams at Denver, they got a guy.
He was drafted 35th.
Yeah, so a lot of these running backs usually end up going in the later rounds. They usually, the good ones really end up being, it's only a few of those guys being 1st round picks and have really good years or really good careers. A lot of these guys get drafted in the 2nd, 3rd round and become very productive. But yeah, like I said this last week, they have their quarterback. If you want to compare them to, the 90s Bills, they don't have Thurman Thomas. They don't have their Thurman Thomas. They don't have their Richmond Thurman. Thurman Thomas was an excellent running back. He was an excellent running back at Oklahoma State before Barry Sanders took off And then he went to Buffalo, and he really changed. He was exactly what they needed. They ran the football, power. Because you look at those games where it was like least amount of passing yards, least amount of passing attempts. You see Bills.
Bills rolled twice.
Yeah, you see Bills in there. So I mean, that's their identity. And if you're able to get a power back plus the running plus a quarterback, that's with the running ability of Josh, it becomes very scary. RPOs become lethal if you're able to get that guy. So we'll see what happens with the front office and who they acquire next season. But right now, they're just going to have to be able to adjust, maybe do a little bit more option. Of course, you don't want to have Allen running the ball too much because that is your franchise, but maybe scheme up some things.
He's the opposite of Lamar. You look at Lamar and he doesn't really get hit. Josh is Big Ben at the point where he takes some shots where you're like,
because you got to get him down.
That's what I'm saying. I understand, but I'm saying, you look at some of the shots Josh takes sometimes, it's like, oh God, please get up. Because right. I mean, even yesterday when he got hit out of bounds in that BS roughing the passer or roughing. No, I mean, I don't know what it was.
Unnecessary roughness.
Conduct.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever. Piss off.
Miles Bryant. I want to talk about Miles Bryant too. I'll make a point. Go ahead.
But I mean, you look at that. He got up after that. Shaking his hand a little bit. I was like, oh, geez, because listen. Patriot fan, but I'm a big Josh Allen guy just because I like to be right. And I said that Josh Allen was going to be good coming out of the draft, and nobody else said he would be. So I like to be right. But before you make your point, I take two big things away from this, right? One being I'm still nervous to play them again and have to see them. And listen, I know we won, but here's my thing, right? And here's the pessimist coming out in me. Those conditions never going to happen again. That I mean, what are the chances that you're going to play them again? Even in New England, I understand where the weather might not be good, but 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts. They went to the red zone 4 times. They only scored once. Their kicker misses a field goal. They have to go for it at the end of the game. Now, listen, if he makes that one field goal and then they're in the same position, they could have kicked a field goal again, they win the game. And also, if you look at it, Stephon Diggs burned the cornerback at the time. I can't even remember who it was.
Joanne Williams.
It was? Okay.
On a double move, yeah. I don't know why he been on a double move. You should know they're going to try to go for the deep ball, but yeah.
So, and listen, I can remember is last year, JC getting torched for about 150 and 3 touchdowns. So I still got that burned into my memory somehow. So I think if anything, we haven't seen the true matchup of these two teams, because I think the next time they're going to play, the Patriots are going to be able to throw, and they said it after the game, they didn't see any of our passing plays, so we got a whole new playbook to throw at us. That's a plus sign from the Patriots side of things, but you're also going to be able to see, the Bills' actual offense on this side too, where they're going to be able to throw the ball deep. They're going to be able to get the ball into Diggs' hands and Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders and everything like that. Josh Allen's going to be able to take off, because we still had, some issues during that game containing him. But I don't think the two teams have truly played. Obviously, that's a metaphor because they did play, but I don't think you've seen the true forms of both teams. Maybe the Patriots because they're going to run the ball a lot, but they're not going to run the ball 90% of the time and have 3 pass plays. So I'm still interested to see what this next matchup is. But this is a good step. Like I said, I would be happy with the 2-2 during this little stretch, and 2-0 so far. Coming off a bye against the Colts, I bet with Bill off of a bye, to say the least, even though it is in Indy. And then, you get the Bills again, who are going to be hungry, especially after, the whole little embarrassing comment. And I don't know if you saw it either. Doug McDermott after the game saying, let's not act like this was some holy game plan that only Bill could do. Like, that's what the weather basically made everybody do. So,
well, I mean, if that was
stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if that was the case, then the Bills would have done it.
Oh, they can't do it. That's their problem.
Right. So, I mean, it's not as easy as, one might say. And like I said, so many things could go wrong. And for the football like that over and over again, you could have so many holding calls and false starts.
Discipline.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was definitely a great execution by.
Oh yeah, and then I'm also all for cutting N'Keal Harry. I can't stand him anymore. Can't do it.
Yeah, I mean,
great blocker though. Great blocker.
No, he's a great blocker, bro.
You're not going to field that punt. Why are you anywhere near it? No punts should have even been fielded last night. Look at the punts last night. They either went straight in the air and came back towards the punter because of the wind, or they went out of the end zone because the wind was so strong. Harry, get your stupid self away from the ball, bro. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, he could have got out. Yeah, he should have got out the way. He was definitely made a mistake. But I mean, he also made that key block on the Damian Harris touchdown. So it's like, it's a key block on the edge and for Damian to cut back and go to the crib. So I mean, he made one mistake and he made one big play. I mean, that block is a big block. He's made some other big blocks even last week against Tennessee. So listen, I mean, he knows his role.
We got Logan in here, Lord Ant and King James. I like that. Okay, I might, CJ, we might have to adopt that. Lord Ant, King James. I mean, the King James thing might be taken, but CJ, you're my king. We don't do King James over here. As a New Yorker, you guys got lucky. Not really. Billy B is a true master coach. As an American football fan, that was a well-played game and well worth the watch. I agree.
Definitely.
It might not have been the most exciting game, and I said that in the chat. I said, listen, and I even said at the beginning of this, if you weren't a fan of either team, so God bless you for watching that game, because even me at some point, I was like, bro, can somebody just pass the ball because I'm actually bored. I just want to see what happens. But hey,
and even with Josh Allen having a strong arm, he still only completed 50% of his passes.
Yeah.
So, it's not like he was 26 for 32 and had a hell of a game passing the football. So the win affected both guys, regardless how you want to rate the arm strength of the quarterback. It's a factor, bro. Like, I mean, it's just science. Like,
you can't practice for 25-mile-an-hour winds. Exactly. It's not possible.
Exactly.
I mean, even the first, what was it, like the second, one of the first punts of the game with the Patriots, from the time the ball dropped from his hand to his foot, it moved, and that's why it was a shank. Like that's not even possible.
Yeah, 100%. And then the last 2 points I want to make a comment about Miles Bryant. A lot of people said Beasley was wide open. He should have hit Beasley. First off, he made a great play, man. He made a great play because, of course, you give the inside leverage. Honestly, to me, the play call was a little confusing by Steve Belichick. I was a little confused on that 4th and 14, and you do an all-out blitz, and then you play off man. Try not to give up the touchdown, but the wind and snow was no joke on both sides. Even Big Mac, Big Mac. Even Big Mac only had 3 passes.
JS10, you see that he copyrighted that?
Oh, yeah, MJ10?
Yeah, MJ10, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, because Mac 10 is already taken. So yeah, it's calm. And again, people want to throw obviously the comparisons or whatever. Yeah, but a lot of people do that with their initials and their jersey numbers. So, just something to talk about. But yeah, Miles Bryant made a great play. He could have easily just committed to Beasley on the inside route, but he knew Josh would probably look him off and go to Gabe Davis, and for him to still commit to Beasley and then still look at the eyes of Josh Allen, work back and make the deflection. That's a fantastic football play right there, bro. I mean, he honestly could have picked it off and it would have been GG's, but he still got the PBU. And that was a great play. I think if people look at the All-22, I haven't looked at the All-22 yet of the game, but just in the rematch, in the replay, you could see how he was gonna commit to Beasley, then stopped and then made the play. I mean, that means he's looking at the eyes of the quarterback, and Josh probably looked him off like, oh, I got him, and then I'm gonna hit Gabe Davis right here, and honestly, it would have been a touch. I mean, we don't know if he would have caught it or not, but the likelihood of him, completing that pass was very high, depending on because of the fact that Jalen Mills gave up inside leverage. So great play by Adrian Phillips as well on 3rd down, getting that PBU on Dawson Knox.
The fact that Josh Allen got away from everything that he did was incredible.
Yeah, for him to get away, exactly like you said, for him to get away, and that's I guess that's one of the pluses of having a mobile quarterback, of course. His ability to do that, but Adrian Phillips stayed committed, stayed on his man, and as soon as that ball got there, he punched the ball out, made a big play, and that's what you need. And he's been a huge addition for the Patriots. over the last 2 seasons, but definitely this year playing that Patrick Chung role, kind of guarding, covering tight ends, kind of being that guy at box safety as well. It was great. I feel like a lot of people aren't giving the Patriots defense credit as well. Those guys out there, they had to make plays too. You know, four trips in the red zone. We only gave up 1 touchdown and a field goal, and like we said, you know, that touchdown.
No, not even the field goal. He missed it.
Right. He made another one though. He made one and they missed one. Right.
Oh, yeah.
One.
All right. Yes, right. You're right. My bad. That's my bad.
You know, only giving up 10 points and like I said, the Bills defense played good too. Outside of, you know, giving up that, you know, big touchdown run. I mean, that was the game right there. And then we had a field goal. That was it. So it was like you said. The game is definitely gonna be different in Foxborough, but the thing about the Patriots is they're chameleons. Bill is a chameleon. You just don't know what you're gonna get each Sunday, and it's so tough to prepare for that team because when you feel like Perry, what's going on, brother? Crazy week, yeah, crazy. Whenever, yes, it was. It was an insane game, bro. Same game. Glad the squad was able to get that W. But yeah, you just don't know what you're going to get every Sunday. It's tough to prepare for the Patriots, man. You know, one moment you think, oh, they're going to pass the ball 35, 40 times, and then you get last night, or it's the complete opposite. So I think it just speaks to the greatness of Bill, and then I just want to make this last point before we move on. Everybody wants to play the credit game and the percentage game between Tom and Bill. And I said this in the chat. I was like, it's 100-100. If you know football, man, and you're gonna sit here and tell me it's 80-20 Tom or
I was a big 60-40 guy.
Even if you're the other way around and you think Bill deserves more credit, you can't have that type of success in football where it's just, one, it's tough to keep teams together. The parity is crazy. It's crazy in football. You never know what's going to happen. That's why the term any given Sunday is so prominent in this game, because you just don't know what's going to happen. The way they prepare, the way they get ready for games every single time, for them to win 6 Super Bowls in 20 years, you're going to sit here and try to play credit game and who deserves more credit. It's laughable. Did the people in the 70s and 80s say who deserved more credit, Bill Walsh or Joe Montana? I don't think so. Maybe they did. I wasn't thought of yet. So I don't know. But I just think you're just diminishing the greatness that those two had. I mean, it's just happened. It's just so happened to have the greatest coach of all time and the greatest quarterback of all time, and they happen to come together at the same time. It's just it's crazy. You just never seen it before. So I think you just appreciate the greatness, man. Appreciate the greatness, and if you really want to appreciate the greatness, watch the documentary with The Man in the Arena with Tom Brady, man. Watch that documentary. You really see.
I don't think I can watch episode 4 though.
Oh, because of 18-1. Yeah, I know.
Bro, here's the thing, right? I barely even paid attention to football back then. Like, I don't think I really got into football until I was 7 when that Super Bowl happened.
Yeah.
I don't really think I got into football till like middle school. And just even seeing the Tyree catch and everything, I get so mad. I don't know if I can watch it. I'm gonna have to because it is great so far. Shout out, CJ. But
it is great. It is great. And I like what Tom did when he's bringing in his teammates.
Yes,
it shows that it's more than just him. It's more than just him. Even though it's called the Man in the Arena, it's really the men in the arena, man. It's a 22 guy game, bro. And
look, you see that, CJ? I had a good quote a few weeks ago. Now you bring in this. This is top tier content, people. I'm just telling you. If you're not listening, I'll listen. I apologize for you.
I don't know what you guys are doing.
I don't know what else you're doing on a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm just trying to let you know.
I don't know, man, but listen, bro. It's just appreciate the greatness, man. Just appreciate the greatness from both guys. And you see both guys are having success without each other. That just goes to show how excellent those guys are, man. So those are my thoughts on the game and everything that's being talked about.
We only did 40 minutes on it. I think that's
it's like a mini episode right there.
Yeah, you feel me? Might have to cut this one up and just put it on the Patriot part of it.
Hey.
Nah. But you know what? I think we can do a long time in certain games because some of these games terrible. And speaking of a terrible game, Chiefs Broncos 22-9. Chiefs get the win Sunday Night Football. Listen, I watched the game. I gave absolutely zero care to it though. I mean, this was just. I mean, it was just awful. What did Teddy throw? Like three interceptions. You got Sorensen actually playing like a competent NFL player. That's how you know the game was bad. And here's my only takeaway because seriously, I really don't think that this game was anything. I know the Chiefs are winning, and I said it earlier in the year that their defense was so bad and this, that, and it's played a lot better. In fact, their defense is the reason they're winning. Their offense is not right. I don't care what anybody tells me, oh, the Chiefs are back this, the Chiefs are back that. You can't tell me the Chiefs are back until they go out there for a consistent number of weeks and put up numbers that they've been accustomed to putting up. They still have everybody. They still got Mahomes. They still have, Kelsey and Tyreek and, Pringle out there, even though he's got Butterfingers. Hardman. They got Andy Reid, everything. But they are not right. So I know that they're winning right now, but this Chiefs team is probably the least scary Chiefs team since Alex Smith was there.
That's fair to say. That's fair to say. It definitely looks different. Like you said, it's different than what we've been accustomed to since Mahomes took the helm as a starting quarterback. But I think it's going to make them. I think it's going to make them better. It's going to make them better because they're finding other ways to win, and not just winning, dropping 35. Because realistically, what they were doing was really unprecedented. You don't really see that. Yeah, you don't really see that. Even though the game is transitioning into the passing game and, the way the game's being officiated and calls and things like that, where you want to keep the offense on the field and throw the ball down the field and put up a bunch of points. As much as that sounds great, it's still unprecedented because, again, you still got 11 guys on the other side of the ball is trying to stop that. So they were doing crazy things, man. And even honestly, look at the two Super Bowl games. They weren't really able to do that. I mean, look, even against
they should be 0-2 in Super Bowls if Jimmy G isn't terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Exactly. So you just look at what, it's when the games get tight and when teams really game plan for you, you're not gonna always have the home run. So I think it's gonna make Patrick a better quarterback. It's gonna make Patrick a better quarterback. He's gonna learn how to take the check downs, run, audible to some runs a little bit, and then as soon as they bring that safety down, then you could go over the top, give it to McCole, give it to Tyreek, and then you could open the game up. So I think they're becoming a little bit more disciplined, and I think it's going to take Mahomes. It's going to take Mahomes a little bit of time. This could be the season for him to really adjust and learn. Okay, teams are going to try to do this. All right, let's try to do this. And once they go back to something that we were accustomed to back in the past, then we could go back. Then we could go back to what we used to do, where we put up a lot of points and took the top off the defense. So. These are ugly wins. He didn't play great by any means on Sunday. My biggest takeaway from this game was if the Broncos had a quarterback, they'd be
so good.
They'd be really good. They'd be really good, man. The defense is playing very well. They really did all they could. But you could look at the pick six. It's really 16-9 without that pick six by Teddy Bridgewater. So in Arrowhead. For Denver to play like that, I think their defense is excellent. How much? And just play right. I don't know if he's trying to say play like Tom or just play calm.
I think he meant in my opinion.
Oh, in my opinion, okay. That's facts. And yeah, like the Broncos, they have so many weapons, man. They found a running back that's really solid. Even if they're not able to keep Melvin Gordon after this year, have a tight end. They got 3 wide receivers. So it's like, if they could get that guy under, they haven't been able to get that guy under center right since Peyton left. And it's sad. It's unfortunate.
And they couldn't get one before Peyton went there.
100%. So it's like an Elway curse or something like that. I don't know what's going on, man. It's like, or the Cutler curse, because he was the last really good one, solid good one before they got Peyton. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know what they're gonna do with Vic Fangio. I feel like he's not really he's not that bad of a coach. It's not his job to find a quarterback. That's the GM's job.
Bro, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like judging coaches. I hate trying to play the are they good or are they bad thing. And to what we're supposed to do, because we have shows like this where you're supposed to break down everything. But how am I supposed to tell if a coach is good if you don't have a quarterback? Like,
Right.
There is not one position in sports, not one player in sports that means more to our entire organization, not one side of the organization than a quarterback. You could have the best defense, you could have, the best wide receivers, best running back, and you do not have a quarterback, you cannot win. I mean, we saw, let's see, the Jags, number one defense, they had Blake Bortles, couldn't do anything.
Exactly.
You look at the Bears, whose defense has been solid for my entire life, basically. They didn't have a quarterback ever. Realistically, they can't win.
They had a good quarterback. They just didn't have a good. Their quarterback wasn't their best leader. You talking about Cutler, right? You talking about the Cutler days, right?
True, Cutler. Yeah, he was
talented. He was talented to be that guy.
He just didn't like football.
Right. He just wasn't a leader of men. That's really all it was.
He cashed those checks and said, "Listen, as long as they keep rolling in, I'll go onto the field. But other than that, I'm not really here for it."
Right, and then you look at the last few seasons when they had Trubisky. They had great defenses, Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, all these guys, but Trubisky just wasn't good enough to take them over the top. So yeah, absolutely right. And we're seeing the same thing with Denver right now.
Now let's live in this fantasy world. Ready, CJ? Who do you take and put on the Broncos? Is it Ross? You can trade for Ross. Do you rather have Deshaun Watson? I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be available.
I hope not. For the
is Aaron Rodgers going to be available?
Sheesh.
I mean,
yeah,
if you're the Broncos, you have to be the first one on the phone if one of these quarterbacks comes available. It has to be the Broncos and the Panthers are the two teams that should be. Listen, you want 5 first-round draft picks? Okay. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, and it sounds crazy. If the Texans called the Broncos or the Panthers and said, we will give you Deshaun right now for 5 first-round picks, I would say yes faster than any person has ever said it in the entire world.
Yeah, you have to.
Is that a lot of draft picks? Yeah. But guess what? If I have a quarterback in the team that I have, I don't need a first-round draft pick. I'm worried about the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, if you want to be able to compete in that division when you got Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, you 1,000% need a quarterback. You need one. You need a quarterback, man. And Deshaun would be a good spot for them. That'd be wow, what a division that would be, especially if everything gets cleared up with his off the field issues. If he's able to get back on the field, you got Watson, Mahomes, and Herbert for the next decade plus in that division.
Derek Carr would be the worst quarterback in that division, and he's probably a top 15 quarterback.
Right, and exactly, he's good. He's just as good. He's right there, like you said, definitely top 15, maybe top 10 in certain years. So,
he was going to win the MVP before he broke his leg.
Right, yeah, exactly. He was definitely on the rise back in 2016. So that division would be stacked, and I feel like it's already stacked. Just look at the records. I mean, all those teams
are above 500.
All of them are by 5. I believe all those teams have 6 wins. So 6 or more wins. So it's gonna come down to the QB. It's gonna come down to the QB, man. And Denver, if they're able to make that move, Russell Wilson, I'm definitely making that phone call to try to get Russ.
Oh yeah,
1,000%. Rodgers, again, I mean, early in the offseason when we had the episodes, we talked about Denver being a possibility, but just, I mean, what are they now? 9-3, something like that. 10.
Yeah, this could be their year.
It's like, I just don't. I mean, yeah, you can say what you want about Rodgers and his personality wise, but when it comes on the field, he's as good as they come, man. That division is. That division's not changing anytime soon. I mean, even if Fields becomes a really, really good, it's going to take time for them to build that team around him. The team is not good right now. So even if he becomes a guy, it's going to take a little minute. And by that time, Rodgers could be done. So I don't see him leaving Green Bay, man. I don't see him leaving Green Bay. And I think Russell would be a good spot. Watson, I don't think Garoppolo gets them over the hump. I feel like it's just the East version, AFC version of San Fran. So I think they got to try to get one of those top guys, because like you said, it's not like you said before. There's not a lot of top guys in the draft right now. So if you're able to hit a home run, I'm good. 3 first-round picks, 4 easily. I mean, the Rams gave up 3 for Stafford, and Stafford hadn't proved anything. So I'm getting Watson or Russell for sure.
It's going to be fun. I mean, this offseason could really, really be something. So we're going to find out. We are certainly going to find out. Next up, we have the Seahawks and the 49ers. This was a weird game. Obviously, the 49ers needed this much more than the Seahawks. Seahawks season, teetering, to say the least, probably over. As right now, they are currently the 15th seed in the playoffs, which is they're 4-8. They're 4-8, and the because there's 7 teams in the playoffs now, right? And the 49ers are 6-6, and they are the last seed. So, they're still 2 games out of that last seed. The best they can do is 9-8. I would assume that the wild card spots might be better than 9-8 in the NFC. I mean, if they're all 6-6 right now, I'd assume crazier things have happened. Maybe everybody goes on a losing streak. You never know. But a crazy game here, I think this was almost a Gerald Everett game. It almost was. He has that causes a interception in the red zone, trying to bat the ball up. Listen, if you can't get it on the first catch, you should probably just let it go. Kicks it up with his foot. It gets intercepted. Then at the goal line, when the Seahawks could really take a commanding lead, he fumbles the ball. Just a crazy back and forth game here. Seahawks come out on top, and it's a pretty damaging loss for the 49ers, like I said, because, before this, if they win this game, they are 7-6. So that means they're the 6th seed instead of the 7th seed. They would have been higher than Washington. So they're on the bubble. Everybody's right at their nip it at the toes. Where directs Ryan, you know what I mean? But Seahawks with the win here. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I thought the Niners would really come out and really, impose their will on Seattle, knowing the circumstances, like you alluded to, in regards to the seeding and how much each win matters at this point. They had some nice wins over the last few weeks or so. So I thought they were going to be able to keep it going, especially after we kind of saw the lackadaisical performance on offense by the Seahawks on Monday Night Football last week against the Washington football team. So I thought the Niners were going to come in and really play well, but, the original type game. And, like we've seen, even the last 3 games we talked about, really, really relatively close games. And Russell's record against San Fran is out of this world, I believe. I don't know offhand, but I feel like it's definitely above 75 win percentage against San Francisco. So he's had their number for a while, and they've had some pretty good teams over the last few years as well since he's been in the league. So that says a lot. And like you said, Joe Everett
15-4.
15-4. So that's pretty good. That's pretty great. And they were able to get the W. That came down to the wire. They was able to get right there in the red zone, and Jimmy Garoppolo could have made a play, and Carlos Dunlap made a great play, tipping the football and stopping their hopes and try to tie it up and possibly send it to overtime, or maybe they would have went for 2, try to get the dub. So close game, back to the drawing board for San Fran. For Seattle, what does it mean? I guess we'll have to just see. I mean, right now I just still feel like I'd be shocked if they go 9-8. That'd be one of the craziest second half season stories in NFL history. I just don't see it happening. I mean, but San Fran, they got to get right, man. They got to get right. You could say, these are somebody, and I think some people want to criticize Jimmy. He had an interception, but they got to get some W's. Got to get some W's, and if they want to make this playoff push. But a good win from Seattle. They just did enough to make plays, and credit to Carlos Dunlap, made a big time play, 4th and goal. Another big time play coming up too.
I was about to say, you want to talk about big time plays?
Yeah.
Steelers and the Ravens. That game ends 2019. Obviously, the talk of the town is the Ravens going for it, going for the extra point, I should say. or the 2-point conversion. Jesus, I can't speak now. Going for the 2-point conversion to end the game. Later it comes out Harbaugh said that they were doing it because, they didn't have any corners left, which is kind of true. Marlon Humphrey's now done for the year, I believe. Torn pec. So he's gone. We obviously know that they already lost Marcus Peters earlier on in the year.
Man.
So it is, I mean, they are an IR-ridden team, to say the least. But CJ, listen, I know that I'm going to get pushed back on this. I'm used to it. And, it might even be from you. I'm just saying that my Lamar peaked thing is looking pretty good this season.
Yeah, definitely. He's hasn't had a great year. Hasn't had a great year so far. You could definitely point to the injuries that they've had on both sides of the football. 100%. For me, his accuracy definitely hasn't improved. His mechanics still look the same.
16 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Yeah, that's mid. Yeah, that's extremely mid. That's the definition of mid. So it's just facts. I mean, he's still a running threat. But again, defenses get better. I mean, it's just like, I think a lot of people sleep. I mean, again, we're in love with these quarterbacks, and I feel like the quarterback talent is as high as it's ever been in this era of football. So, we're kind of, in love with that per se, but then the defenses are going to get better too, man. And, I know we fall in love with the mobile quarterbacks, but they're still not faster than these guys on defense. I mean, you could say Lamar is faster than some guys, but he doesn't want to get hit like that all the time. He'd rather stand in the pocket and throw dimes than, run the football 25, 30 times and get cracked all of those times. Because truth be told, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm seeing him running wild like that. You could get a couple good runs, but if I get one hit on you, bro, I'm rocking you. Bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It takes one. You get one knee injury,
and I'm not even saying from an injury stand. I'm just saying from a set the tone. Like, yo, like you're not gonna keep doing this to us. We're gonna.
All I can think of is RG3.
Yeah, definitely. And he didn't want to. He wanted to change his style. I think he wanted to change his style a little too soon for my liking. Before I make a point, you just look at that offensive coaching staff that they had when RG3 was a rookie. They have LaFleur, McVay, and Kyle Shanahan.
That's out of pocket.
Sheesh. But yeah, crazy. So, but yeah, the Ravens, Lamar's going to have to continue to improve as a pocket passer 100%, because if not, it's going to be like Cam a little bit. I mean, it's going to come down. It's going to be like Cam, where he's just not over time. And, the hits and things, just little injuries here and there can ultimately hurt you. So he's gonna have to improve this offseason as a pocket passer, work on his mechanics, and just be better from that standpoint. Because the older you get, the athleticism goes, and you're gonna have to be in playing quarterback position is all about the neck up and the shoulders up. So if you're not able to be elite from that standpoint, then you're gonna have a hard time. You're not gonna be able to run away from these guys at 34 or 30 like you used to when you were 24 or 25. So it's going to be a big. I think this offseason coming up for Lamar is going to be huge. But right now they're still 8-4. Like you said, the injuries are crazy. Mark Andrews. I feel like he should have caught that pass. I mean, TJ Watt was kind of altering the pass, so you had to kind of sidearm it a little bit, so you couldn't really get it over the shoulder like a traditional pass. But yeah, it was a tough play. It was a tough play, but it was tough, man. It was tough, but I just feel like I understand why.
Can I say this? I still hate the decision. I know that,
because they got Tucker. Like, they didn't have Tucker, right?
See, here's my thing, right? I understand that you're now down a corner, right?
Right.
Another one, but you literally have all the momentum. You just went down the field, last second scored. The game's tied now. Even if you lose the toss, it's not like the Steelers are some juggernaut on offense. They can't, get a stop. And then you give the ball back to, Wonder Boy Lamar, and they can't score. Like, I understand the whole not having a quarterback thing. Like, I get it. I still hate it. Like, and of course it's easy to say that, going back, hindsight's 2020 and all that. But I've never been a fan of this. Like, I would much rather lose a game in overtime than lose it because I tried to be too cool and go for two.
Yeah, usually see it in college more often, than the NFL, where teams, when they want to go for the W with the game on the line, they go for 2 instead of taking the field goal. But like you said, I'm just glad it lived up to what we talked about last week, because the way they got blasted last week against Cincinnati, I'm just like, come on, like there's no way you could come out against the Ravens, your rival, and play lackadaisical like that, and at home at Heinz Field, and they got the win. I mean, they're 6-5-1, and that division is just all over the place. I mean, I don't know who. Last week's episode was called "Who to Trust." I don't know who to trust in that division, man. So maybe
trust anybody in the NFL.
Seriously. I mean, maybe those guys try to galvanize and try to play for Ben because they know this is his last dance. I don't know.
Last hurrah.
Yeah, last hurrah. Because I'm just not seeing a lot of consistency from any four of these teams right now. So I feel like that division is still wide open. When you think one week is the Ravens got it, then you see what the Bengals did last week. Okay, they're gonna do it, and they get blasted. So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. So we're gonna see who comes out on top. Definitely interesting to see in these next 4 weeks.
Yeah, and then a team that's coming out on top a lot recently is the Washington football team. A 17-15 win. Another game that's not very pretty, but I mean, here's the other thing too. What are the Raiders? Like last week, they go out on Thanksgiving. They beat the Cowboys, and then at home they lose to Washington, and it's just so hard. Like I don't know what to make of any of these teams. Like you said, who to trust? And there's nobody to trust. You kind of just sit down, make your predictions for the year, and then move on. Like nothing's. I think me and Josh. Because obviously we do a pick segment every week like we do, but, Josh is much smarter than me, so he can actually keep track of everything. I think me and Josh are like 15 games positive overall. I think last year at this point, I was like 30 games positive. Like I have no idea what's happening this year. It doesn't make any sense. But, I mean, for Washington, it's a big game for them. Like I said, they're now the number 6 seed in the playoffs. They're coming on strong recently, and, you kind of look out here and you look at everything. The Cowboys aren't out of reach. Like the Cowboys are 8-4. They're 6-6. I understand it probably sounds crazy.
Big game coming up.
Yes.
At FedEx Field. Yeah. That's just going to say a lot.
So it is definitely not out of reach. Because like you said, just looking at their upcoming schedule, they have the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants. So you finish the year, all divisional games. It's basically in your hands. You sweep the Cowboys, sweep the Eagles, beat the Giants. Obviously, that's a tall task. That's a 4-game winning streak on top of an already 4-game winning streak. So they would win 8 games in a row at this point. Why not? It wouldn't be the craziest thing. Their defense, which is weird, has played very well, especially considering they lost Chase Young. And I keep saying this every week, but Taylor Heineke's going to have a job for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's a starter in Washington or I don't know if he's going to be a franchise guy. I mean, I feel like he has a few weeks right now to really prove that, and this is a big audition for him in his career when it comes to being a starting quarterback, franchise guy. It's kind of like a younger Fitzpatrick a little bit. I mean, he does, he gunslings a little bit. He can turn the ball over at times, but he's just been finding some ways to win. I think the team around him really, they support him. They look at him as a leader. They trust him. So, and you got to give credit to Ron Rivera, man. Hell of a coach. He's done an exceptional job with this team so far. You just look at it's just so crazy because the way how well they're playing and all the other stuff that's going on with the Washington football team that's not being really talked about across the media circles and things like that, outlets. It's crazy. It's crazy. What used to happen back in the pre-Ron Rivera and things like that. So for them to play this well, keep it on the field and not really focus on that and just play football, got to give you hats off to Ron Rivera and that coaching staff. for them to continue to keep these guys going, and then also the players as well. Still playing at a high level. They lose their young leader in Chase Young, and they keep it rolling. That front seven is still very dominant. Still got some dogs up there that still make a lot of plays, and Landon Collins has been playing well. They've been running the football, giving it to Antonio Gibson, doing a solid job. I think they lost Logan Thomas. It's not an ACL, but I think it was
not an ACL, but he's still going to be out probably for the season. So.
Probably for the season, yeah. I mean, they haven't had him for the majority of the season, so that might help them in certain ways, and be able to navigate and keep that offense fluid. But when they're playing great football. I mean, they won the division last year, so they probably feel like, we're still a really good football team, and we could battle with anybody, and that's what they're doing so far. And then for Vegas, it's the same thing. Like some of these other teams in the AFC, just inconsistencies. You don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, Kenyon Drake out for the season. That's a big loss for them. That second, their RB2 behind Josh Jacobs. Waller's been hurt, hasn't been healthy, so it's just a tough situation right now for Vegas, and they're going through some stuff because of what happened between Gruden and
I was going to say
the president of the Washington football team. So.
The Raiders in Washington. I mean, we should have had every media outlet there to try to break some stories, or something happened during the game. I mean, actually, yeah, during the game, Kenyon Drake tweeted out, this is my second year getting a knee injury because a defensive player is putting all their weight on me. So even during the game, we got some controversy. He's trying to change rules out here for running backs and tackling, everything like that. So hey, this was the media bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But Washington able to do something that San Francisco wasn't able to do, and that's continue to keep the wins rolling. And we'll see what happens. Like you said, all divisional games for the rest of their schedule.
They control it.
Yeah, they control. Those are going to be some really competitive matchups. Because you got some spoilers like the Giants. They want to spoil some things. They don't want Washington to get in the playoffs. They could care less about the Washington football team. We'll see what happens with the Eagles. They still got something. Maybe they could try to get in one. Garner came out and played well against. Again, I mean, I know it's the Jets, but all right, it's the Jets. But he still came out, and after not playing in well over a year, and able to get that W. So they want to play for something, and then the Cowboys, they want to make sure they lock up that division. So that's these next few games to Washington is going to be very key, and it's going to come down to Heineke, man. He's going to have to play clean football, make enough plays with his legs too. It's pretty, he can move, and we'll see what happens.
CJ, why don't you take us through the rest, brother?
We got the Rams and the Jaguars. I mean, again, not really too much to say about this game, guys. We got Rams bounced back after losing 3 in a row. We said this was going to be a game they could easily try to get back in the feel of things. Playing the team like game. Get right game, 100% against Jacksonville. Odell had a touchdown. Celebration was fire with the war zone thing.
Key, I'm not even gonna lie. Not a big Odell guy, but I saw the celebration. I said, okay, yeah. I see you out here.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice celebration for him, man. But yeah, not too much about that game. Good win for the Rams. They got to win. They got to continue to get as many W's as possible because you got the Cardinals right there, and you got the Packers and Tampa Bay. Those are the 3 teams they're looking at right now if they want to try to get that first seed and compete and maybe get to that bowl. NFC South showdown between the Buccaneers and the Falcons. It was kind of close. It was close early. And really, I mean, had that pick 6 by the defensive lineman. It was a great play. Brady never saw him. And he just thought he had a clean pass to Lenny, and he came in and intercepted the pass and took it to the crib. Great play by him, and you thought, okay, what's going to happen? But then you even look at the games last year against the Falcons, the Buccaneers that played. They were kind of close. They were really close. I think it was 24-7 last year, and Brady and those guys came back and won the game. So. It's again these divisional matchups. It doesn't matter what the records are, bro. They're not going to just let these teams come blow them out, especially when they have to see them twice. It's always going to be tough when you see a team twice every year. But Gronk and Brady. I mean, what can you say, bro? I mean, what can you say? Listen,
2 GOATs.
To me, it's the greatest duo Listen, I know you got Montana Rice, you got Peyton and Harrison.
Philip Rivers and Mr. Antonio.
Philip Rivers and Antonio Gabe. They didn't win as much. They didn't win as much.
I think they have the record though for most like touchdowns.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have the record. They do have the record, but I feel like it's just. I mean, it's not a duo better than those guys. I mean, their chemistry is unmatched. You see, as soon as Gronk comes back, it's just they don't miss a beat because Gronk just knows where Brady wants him to be in certain moments, and I think that's why him and Mike Evans kind of struggle a little bit at certain times where the timing is a little bit off, and they're not able to be in sync like you may think because how great Mike Evans is and Brady is.
Listen, I don't know if I said it on here. Sorry to interrupt you. I keep doing.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know if I said it on here or if I said it on Gen Z. That I understand. The whole you look at the team and even you can look at the Rams too. Like, I mean, they got Mike Evans and Godwin and blah blah blah. And I mean, yeah, Gronk and AB are out, but why does that even matter? Brady should still be doing that. There's a very big difference between somebody being on your team and somebody you're very comfortable with. Like Brady and Gronk have played together for what, 10 years? So,
it's been a decade. Yep.
Somewhere along those lines. I mean, Antonio Brown only had those, 2 games or whatever, 1 game with the Patriots, but Brady's obviously very comfortable with him. It seems like, they worked out together a lot too.
That week of practice that they had, it must have been like one of the greatest weeks ever. I think somebody might have said that. Like one of a player or something like. I think Brady might have said it too. Like the week that he had when they were in the.
I mean, he lived in his house.
Yeah. It was like one of his best. Yeah, well, in New England, he was at the crib. He was at Brady's
AB lived with Brady in New England, and I think even when he came,
I know Tampa Bay, right? Yeah, I know Tampa. Yeah, definitely, I know that.
Well, yeah, like I said, there's a big difference between having a lot of skilled people and then having people you're very comfortable with and knowing what they're going to do. Like you said, Brady knows where Gronk is going to be, and Gronk knows where Brady wants him to be. There's a big difference between that and then Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are very, very good players, but it's always, do I know where you're going to be? Like, I know you're supposed to be there, but maybe, and it sounds stupid, maybe you're an inch to the left.
No, that's not stupid.
That throws things off.
No, that's not stupid, bro. I mean, that could be a difference between a completed pass and a pick. So, no, it's not stupid at all. I mean, they just got to continue to work. I mean, it's only 2 years together. And yeah, they already got a bowl. But that's why you see in the Super Bowl, look who he threw his touchdown passes to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just speaks for itself. And then for AB, I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, you want to talk about getting in your own way. I mean, it's like, bro, you're in a perfect situation. You're playing with Tom. You got a bunch of skill positions around you where you don't need to be the guy every single Sunday. You're going up against 3rd and 4th string DBs every single Sunday. You're going in a pass-happy offensive scheme with Byron Leftwich. I don't know. He just continues to get in his own way, man, and hopefully he figures it out, bro. I mean, they could easily cut him. Hopefully, he has some type of discussions with the team and, try to get right. But I don't know, bro. Same thing for Mike Edwards, too. I mean, perfect situation. Great defense. Great guys on that side of the football as well. All you got to do is go out there and make plays. That front seven is really good. So it just happens.
I got another question for you. Who did you pick for the MVP last week?
I think I had Brady. I think I said Brady. Yeah.
Well, it sounds very smart because I don't know if you saw what I sent into the group chat before this little IG flick. Brady has 35 total touchdowns this year, right? That is more than the Texans, Falcons, Panthers, Bears, Lions, Jags, Giants, Raiders, Washington, Denver, the Jets, Steelers, Dolphins, Seattle. And then here are the 3 that, listen, those are all kind of mid-teams, so whatever. He has more total touchdowns, Brady himself, than the Browns, Packers, and Ravens.
I mean, listen, man, it's the
leads the league in passing yards, 3,771, and leads the league in passing touchdowns with 34.
Yeah, let's say Yeah, it speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. I mean, he's defying odds. We've never seen this before, and I think it's going to be between him and Rodgers. And I think Rodgers might have that edge too because of that Jordan Love game where Jordan Love was out. I mean, Jordan Love was out there playing in Kansas City, and the offense was completely non-existent. And then he comes back next week, and he's just throwing touchdowns galore. So it's going to be between those two guys. And I think it's going to be between those two guys again in the NFC Conference Championship game. I mean, those to me, even though the Cardinals are playing really good, man, I feel like a lot of people are underrating them a little bit.
Nah, they're sleeping on the Cardinals.
They are, but I just think the experience of both of those guys at quarterback definitely gives them the edge. So I think we might see another rematch between Tom and Aaron, and I'm for it. I'm all for it.
Me too.
Okay, we got a game that means a lot for both teams. Both AFC teams got the Chargers and the Bengals. Chargers were up. This is like the game of inconsistency, and because you have the Chargers are up, 24 was it 24 zip, right?
Yeah. Oh yes, it was. You want to know why
20
CJ I was paying attention to this game so much? Me and Josh, like I said, our pick segment. I believe he was 3 games ahead of me going into this, and we disagreed on this game. I picked the Chargers. He picked the Bengals. 24-0. I'm sitting there lavish. Then all of a sudden I look up, it's like 24-20. I'm sitting here sweating bricks.
Yeah, man. This game this game is the epitome of both of these teams, really, honestly, and how inconsistent they've been all season. And Chargers had a big lead. Then the Bengals came back, and I believe I think Herbert he hurt his pinky on his right hand.
Burrow,
hurt his pinky on his right hand, and that kind of changed some things throughout the game, and the Chargers were able to, break through and put up some more points and get the W. I was definitely watching this game a lot. It looks like teams have kind of figured out Chase a little bit. He hasn't really had such a splash game since really that Ravens game where he went crazy. Everything else has been kind of, not many yards. Hasn't really been able to get in the red zone as well. So I think some defense really started to figure him out, and they were able to stop Mixon. And like I said, I mean, Mixon is their engine. If you're able to stop him, even though they have some great weapons on the outside, it just opens up. It makes your defense. Defense just able to play a lot better. You're able to scheme up some things and be able to get to Burrow and stop some of those guys on the outside. Make them more of a finesse team if you get the Mixon. So that's what the Chargers did, and they were able to get this W. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that last part is what I focus on the most because, going into this game, I picked the Chargers, like I said, on Gen Z. I don't remember what I picked on here. Maybe I picked the Bengals, like I said, having 2 shows, I'm allowed to be smart.
I forgot who I picked. Yeah, we next season, guys.
Next season, we're going to keep track. I'll keep a spreadsheet if I have to.
We'll get the Excel down and we'll be good, man.
But Josh is old fashioned with it. This man writes down every matchup and then adds it up. Crazy out of his mind.
Salute to our brother, man. He's dedicated.
But I think that last part, like you said, is what surprised me the most, that they stopped Mixon, because Mixon has been popping off these last few games. We've obviously seen that, and the Chargers are terrible against the run. I think they were like 30th or in that 30 region. So the fact that they could stop him and that kind of, like you said, stopped the Bengal offense, and that was just the most surprising part to me. I didn't see that coming. I thought if they were going to win this game, it was going to end up being a shootout. And I mean, towards the end of the game, it wasn't. I mean, it still wasn't really a shootout because, like I said, I think at one point it was 24-19. Yeah, it was 24-19, and then that was when the Bengals were driving down the field, and then Mixon fumbles, and that's picked up, scoop and score touchdown, and then the Chargers added on after that as well. But that was a surprising thing to me. Like, I did not see the Chargers stopping the run, and that's how they won this game. I picked them to make the playoffs this year, so your boy's looking good once again. But it was a fun game. It was definitely a fun game, to say the least. I wouldn't mind seeing these teams match up again. I think these games are going to be fun, going down, because they were the same draft class, I believe, as well. Burrow was the first pick of that draft, and Herbert was the 6th pick of that draft as well. So to see them going at it, which they probably continuously will, but yeah, like I said, the Chargers stopping the run is just something I didn't really expect. And then that's the other interesting part too, is the fact that Chase just hasn't, really done anything crazy since that Ravens game, like you said. And, for a little bit, it seemed like they were, running the offense through him, and now they were running the offense through Mixon. So just the fact that now neither one of them in this game really did anything, kind of surprising. And then, obviously, like you said as well, Burrow hurting his finger kind of changes everything as well. You can't really drive the ball. You saw him on the sideline. He threw a ball on the sideline and screamed out, being annoyed, obviously, that he was hurt. But a big game. I think the Chargers before this, their chances to make the playoffs were like 40 something, and now it's like 75. And then the Bengals' chances to make the playoffs were like 64, and now it's down to like 47. So
because of that division.
Yeah. I mean, things change all the time. So I'm sure next week if the Chargers and the Bengals win now, they'll both go up to 80%, and if they lose, they're back down to like 30%. So things are ever changing, in
Exactly.
the NFL. These percentages, just come out of nowhere. But a fun game, and a game that I hope to see going forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we got the Arizona Cardinals going to Chicago, Soldier Field, playing the Chicago Bears. Kyler coming back, D-Hop coming back. Easy work, man. No problem. Be able to run the football. Kyler threw a dime to D-Hop. It's like they didn't miss any time. I was able to get in the end zone. Bears are they are who they are. Like I said earlier. I mean, they're just they don't have a great roster right now, and it's just going to be tough for them to win some games. Definitely Matt Nagy's last year as a head coach for the Chicago Bears. They're going to have to reset. Ryan Pace probably out of there as well as a GM, and going to have to reset. Hopefully, I really hope they get the right guys in there for Fields. I want to see all these young quarterbacks succeed. So hopefully they get the right front office, get the right right head coach, right play caller, offensive coordinator for these young guys, put them in the best positions to succeed. But right now it's just going to be tough for the Bears to get anything going, especially on offense. And the Cardinals 10-2, man, playing well, playing really good football. We're 2-1 without Kyler and D-Hop. Colt McCoy came in there, played really solid football for them, and as a backup. And they're kind of hitting their stride right now. I think people are sleeping on them because they just haven't been accustomed to seeing them in this position for so long. Really since I guess the Carson Palmer year when they went 15-1, 13-4, something like that. 14-3, something like that.
Was that before 13 or after
That was when they played the Panthers in the NFC Conference Championship game. That was 2015. That was the last time they were really.
That was Palmer.
Yeah, Carson Palmer. Yep. Yeah. And then before that, obviously Kurt Warner.
Why did I think it was? That's who I was thinking. I was thinking
right.
of Kurt.
Yeah, but they had that one year when
that was Carson Palmer, huh?
Yeah.
I really thought it was somebody else. I don't know why. I don't even know who I thought it was, but it definitely wasn't him.
Yeah, I got traded from the Rams. But yeah. So we're not really accustomed to seeing them play like this for a while. And I think them being 10-2, got to get a lot of credit to Cliff Kingsbury as well. His coaching staff has done a great job. This roster's really well. Getting James Conner on a market deal. He's been able to put up double-digit touchdowns this year as a running back, playing solid football. Could be a guy they could keep and for the long term. I think it's definitely would suit them as well. You want to add some physicality to that team. You kind of want to have, kind of similar to what we talked about with Buffalo earlier in the show. You don't want to have Kyler be the primary running threat and passing threat all the time. So that might be something they may look into the offseason coming up. But yeah, Cardinals looking great, man. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, and didn't watch too much of this one, obviously. Like I said, there were many good games on, but this one was one that really didn't interest me. It's I think it's just the Kyler effect. If he doesn't miss these games, he's probably the leader for the MVP right now as well. Like you said, he came back, seemed like him and D-Hop didn't even miss any time. A beautiful throw and catch on that touchdown pass. But yeah, I like I said many times, I was wrong on the Cardinals this year. Like just so wrong. I thought that they were going to end up last in this division, not because they were bad, but because the division was so good. And well, obviously they're looking down on everybody else right now. So good on them. If it isn't for Bill, I think Cliff Kingsbury is the coach of the year, but I think Bill is in the running now.
Yeah, I think it's between those two guys, 100%. I mean, look, I think if LaFleur was able to get that one against Kansas City with Jordan Love, I think he makes a great case. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do so. McVay, you can't really say because they just had that 3-game skid. So yeah, I think it's between Kingsbury and Bill. If the media, if they want to, change it up a little bit, get some fresh blood, give the award, they'll probably give it to Cliff. I think he deserves it.
How many times has Bill even won it?
I believe twice.
He had to win it in 2007, I assume.
He definitely won it in 2007. I want to say one of the I think it might have been 2004. He might have won it 3 times.
Because it hasn't been, I don't think it's been recent. I don't ever remember Bill winning a Coach of the Year like that. I remember.
Yeah, it's been a little while. It's like the Jordan MVP, LeBron MVP. You get fatigued and you just you can't give it to him every year. Obviously, you going 14-2, 12-4 every single year. You easily could get it, but you just want to give it to somebody else. I think that we may have the same thing here with Cliff. But like I said, he definitely deserves it. I mean, especially again those 2 wins with Kyler and D-Hop not being there and them getting that W with Colt McCoy. It's definitely going to help his case.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like I said, just Kyler coming back takes the team to a whole new level. It really does. I mean, I feel like he sat out those few games and we saw them win with the backup. We were like, oh, okay, maybe it's not a Kyler thing. And blah blah blah. Kyler makes this team almost unbeatable. Almost. Nobody's unbeatable, but this team is that's a problem. When you can throw the ball all over the field and then Kyler Murray's probably faster than half the people on your defense, that's a hard time.
Yeah, this is tough to stop. You got to be really disciplined against these mobile quarterbacks, man. You got to have your defensive ends have to be so disciplined and containing. You don't want to push up the field every single time because if you give him a little bit of crease to run, it's a wrap. So you got to really have to be able to contain the gaps and really get right because if not, he could definitely be a threat. And that's what we've been starting to see. We saw with Lamar, his MVP season, and we've seen Kyler do it this year. Josh Allen has done it as well. So he's going to if he's out there and especially if he's throwing the ball in the pocket efficiently first, then it's just going to be tough to stop those guys. So we'll see, man. They could potentially make some noise in the playoffs, and it's looking like they're going to have the number 1 seed. So somebody's going to have to go to Zona in order to try to keep their playoff run alive. So we'll see what happens with that.
I looked it up. Bill 2003, 7, and 10.
Okay, yeah, 3 times. Yeah, I knew it was 3. Okay, 3, 7. All right. Little trivia, might win some cash. You never know, man. Never know.
We have to start doing trivia on this show.
Facts. All right, we got the Eagles and the Giants. Eagles pretty much stay in Jersey after losing against the Giants last week. I mean, Eagles and the Jets, excuse me. And after losing to the Giants last week, they came out, no Jalen Hurts. I think he has a sore ankle sprain or something like that. That's what Nick Sirianni said during the week. And Minshew came in. And again, this is why I said I feel like the second most valuable position in the league is a backup quarterback. We just talked about it with Colt McCoy in Arizona. And now we see Gardner Minshew coming in, making plays, did a really great job. Again, yes, we know it's the Jets, so not really, but it's, you got to win the game. You got to win the game, and it was a little close, though. It was a little close early.
Halftime.
Yeah.
This was a different story.
Yeah, halftime was a completely different story. They were able to open it up and really, get the W. And I'll say this about these quarterbacks, man. We kind of glossed over the Jaguar game too, and these younger quarterbacks. I just feel for for these guys, man. Obviously, you have no control over where you're going to get drafted. You just hope and pray you get drafted to a good situation. But I mean, it's really not the case because they wouldn't be in that position if they were really good. But yeah, man. I hope it's just the Jets right now. It's just so tough to assess. Zach Wilson. It's tough because the team is not good. Corey Davis out for the season now, but he wasn't really that productive for them this year. Wilson missed a few games already in his early career. Salah's a rookie head coach. Like you said last week, they have a rookie offensive coordinator. a lot of inexperience. Same thing for the Jaguars. Rookie head coach. They have an offensive coordinator in Darren Bevel who, wasn't, he's known for the not running the football and giving it to not giving it to
I've never
Marshawn
heard
Lynch.
Dan Orlovsky talk about the Jags.
Now, what has he said?
Bro, Dan Orlovsky destroys the Jags anytime he has a chance. Like he said, like obviously the Jets aren't very good or everything like that, but I listen to the Michael K show all the time. And obviously they got to talk about the Jets, New York market and everything. And they asked them, it's like, was the offensive system bad, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, it's not really bad. They just don't really have the players to do anything. And they're like, well, then how come, is Zach Wilson bad or blah, blah, blah? And then, they compare him to Trevor Lawrence, obviously, because the same draft. And he's like, no. The Jags offense is like the worst thing he's ever seen. Like, he's like, they don't know what they're doing. The scheming is awful. Like, their plays are terrible. Well, like, I mean, you want to talk like he destroys the Jags offense whenever he's like, the fact that Trevor Lawrence even has a touchdown pass is unbelievable. Their offense is awful. He's like, the scheming is just terrible.
Yeah, I just didn't understand the hires by Urban Meyer. I didn't understand the hire when I thought they were going to get like a guy that's been a younger guy, got like a Kellen Moore type. You know what I'm saying? Like someone like that. And they got Darren Bevel. I was like, all right. I mean, he's mid. I mean, yeah, he does have a Super Bowl under his belt, but could have had two, but got too cocky and overzealous up there on the goal line. And I didn't get it. I mean, yeah, he's experienced as a coordinator, but he wasn't good. He hasn't been really good. He didn't even have a job after Seattle. He didn't get picked up as an OC again. So yeah, I feel bad for those guys, man. Hopefully something turns around. Something turns around for both of those quarterbacks. The same thing, like I said, same thing for Fields. But yeah, tough break. What's not a tough break is the Lions finally getting the W. It took them 13 weeks to finally get a dub. It was looking scary. It was looking like you talking about Dan Orlovsky. It was almost on that level. But they were able to get the win, and on a walk off at that. Just so lion like, right? So lion like, and Goff makes a play. It's kind of honestly that play a little bit looked like the New England.
No, that's I almost said it during the game. I just never did. They ran the exact same play. The Bills ran the exact same play the Lions did.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. That's why what Miles Bryant did was so great, bro. Because if he doesn't do that, he just stays with Beasley. That's a touchdown. And it's the same thing. We're saying the same thing about Zimmer that we're saying about Belichick. Like how do you call that play right there and give up? It's the same thing.
But so the difference is the Vikings didn't all out blitz. The Patriots sent the house.
Oh right, yeah, and then true. That's
so they gave Goff time to sit there and decipher the play.
That's a good point.
And that was the other thing I was going to bring up. I just never did. That's what the Patriots are known for too. I mean, this all out blitz didn't work, but in the Super Bowl against the Giants, when they were down at the goal line, they all out blitz too. And Eli just made a throw for the one of the only times in his entire career.
One of the throws. To Plaxico.
I was going to say Plaxico back in the end zone. So the Patriots like that. If you got a fourth down, they're one of the teams that are like, listen, we're not going to let you sit in the pocket and run past our defense and make them tired. No, we're sending the crib. You better have a hot route.
No, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You want to get the QB off his spot. You kind of make him look somewhere else. And if he starts to look down, then you're able to, make a play. I get the reasoning for it, but you gotta go make the play.
Yes,
and it works in your favor sometimes, and then it doesn't, like we saw in the Super Bowl. So, but yeah, back to the Lions. They're able to get this W. Big win for them. Very important win. They were extremely excited. Dan Campbell was excited. Gave shout out to the names of the other people that lost their life in the high school, the shooting earlier in the week. So. It was just a big time for the state of Michigan too. Michigan's in the college football playoff. They're playing solid, and Lions fans get to enjoy this one, man, against a rival. NFC North rival as well. Vikings. It's got to be it for Zimmer, man. This has to be it. I feel like it might be it for Kirk too, man. I mean, I don't think these fans want to see another year.
Top 10 Kirk?
Bro, nah. I keep trying to tell Corey, man. Shout out Corey, man, USN fan, but nah, man. Nah, Brian. Like I said, it's not all on him. You feel me? It's not all on him, but they gotta change it up. They gotta change it up. I'm pretty sure Viking fans are tired of seeing Zimmer and Kirk. They're probably done with that reign. It has to be over at this point. You gotta switch it up. But yeah.
Listen, all I'll say about this, 3 things. Great for the Lions fans. Goff also takes W's off the field. You know what I mean? I don't know if you saw that video.
Oh, yeah. My son is blessed. Son is blessed for sure. He's definitely blessed.
Shout out Goff. And then, like I said, top 10 loss for the Vikings.
Yeah, that's big top 10. Big top 10 lows in the Vikings, man. Tough, man. I feel for those fans, bro. Because they got talent, but it's tough. All right, Colts and the Texans. Yeah, that's a layup. It's like the Jets, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just an easy win. I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I think they get
they need everything. I've never seen a team need everything in my life.
Are they gonna get You think they're gonna get the number 1 pick or Jacksonville? Or Detroit? Detroit will get it. Detroit will get it. I'm sorry, damn. They got to win. Right I got complacent.
I think right now it's Detroit, Jags, them.
Oh, because they beat the Jags, right, in the first week, right? Tyrod.
So, I mean,
I don't know. They need a lot of help, bro.
I think they're going to draft a quarterback 3rd.
Who?
I listen. Don't ask me.
Bryce is not coming out till next year.
CJ, you know what's going to happen though. Somebody's
but
going to have a good combine.
We're in December though. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
No. Somebody's going to have a good combine. All of a sudden, they're going to be, oh my gosh, have you seen this kid? He ran a 40-yard dash pretty good. or he threw the ball all over the field in shorts against nobody on defense. So we got to draft him. Texans are drafting a quarterback with that 3rd pick. I guarantee you, because the Jags have a quarterback. The Lions aren't going to draft a quarterback. They got to pay Goff anyway. I mean, unless those two, that's the only thing I can think of. I think the Jags are going to draft. No, the Lions are going to draft the Michigan kid, the pass rusher. I think the Jags are going to draft the pass rusher from Oregon.
Thibodeau,
and then that leaves the Texans.
Man, if I'm the Texans, I go Stingley out of LSU. I would go quarterback.
I would trade down,
or that. Well, I mean, they'll probably get some once the Watson thing gets figured out. They'll get some picks.
I didn't even think about that. You're right.
They got to get some picks, man. So yeah, but the Colts, just ran through the Texans, man. Just easy work. Yes, thank you all for watching, man. Make sure to like and subscribe. For all the viewers watching, even if you're listening, you listen back to the podcast. Whenever you get a chance, subscribe, hit the notification bell for me and Connie go live. Thank you guys for supporting us 1,000%.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then we got the Giants and the Dolphins. Dolphins, man. What is this, 5 in a row?
I believe so.
5 in a row. Brian Flores got his guys going. Tua had another solid game. And they look good. They look really good right now. Yes, the Giants. Yes, the Mike Glennon Giants.
Long neck.
Yeah. Just lackadaisical offense, man. Sloth offense. And nothing going on for that offense, bro. I just shout out all my brothers as Giants fans right now. I know they're going through it, bro. But
bro, do you realize how far away me and you are seeing good New York football? Like, do you realize it?
Yeah, I don't see how. Yeah, it's gonna be a long time.
The Giants and the Jets, I think, the Giants have the worst, and the Jets have the second worst record over the last decade.
And the Giants got a Super Bowl in one of them years. One of them.
Yeah, they won. One of those years was an 11-5 year.
Yeah, a lot of 6 and 10s and 4 and 12s over there for both of those teams, bro.
Jesus, bro.
Yeah, tough. But I don't. Again, it's just that's why I don't want to go back to. I don't want to make this a past podcast.
Don't worry, CJ. What we're doing is very impressive out here. We lost the goat and we rebuilt in a year.
Yeah, man. That's why it's so. You got to be grateful for having a guy like Bill.
We don't rebuild, bro. We retool. Shout out the Yankees, bro.
Facts. Not saying Bill is perfect because he definitely makes his mistakes, but when it comes to true. But when it comes, it's a fact. But when it comes to building a team, he's been doing a pretty solid job so far, and there's more money to be spent because Mac's still on a rookie deal, on a favorable rookie deal too, because he only went 15 and not top 3. So, but yeah. Dolphins playing great football. Brian Flores coming from that Belichick coaching tree. Got these guys playing at a high level right now, making it 5 in a row. Tua being healthy, I think helps 100%. And he's trying to prove his worth and show that he's a franchise guy. And if they're able to get in the playoffs, that would. I mean, you can't. What can you really do? I mean, you're gonna jump ship and. Listen, I know Watson is better than him, but Wilson.
I honestly think they would still move on. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, they probably, but he's playing good. He's playing well, and like I said, I've been saying this for the last few weeks. It's not like they have elite talent on that team. They don't have an elite running back. They don't have an elite tight end, wide receiver. They have a really good rookie wide receiver.
I was gonna say Waddle's balling.
Yeah, he's been balling for sure. And he's
9
a rookie.
for 90 in this game.
And he's a rookie, bro. He's excellent as a rookie for sure. He's gonna have a really good career. But yeah, that's his number one target. And the defense has been playing really solid as well. Jalen Phillips, the guy that they drafted, playing good football as well. So I mean, they're right there, and can't sleep on that game when New England goes to see him in Miami. That's gonna be a good game, bro.
Especially because it's in Miami. We never fared well there.
Yeah, they got a home field. They got a type of home field advantage a little bit. I mean, even though I look at the game sometimes, it doesn't look like it's a lot of people there, but the way they play,
I'll tell you what the home field advantage is. That Florida Heat.
Right, the Florida Heat and the night before the game where you're in Miami. You're in Miami.
I mean, bro, Foxborough, you're going from 35 or 28 degrees snow, and all of a sudden you pull to Miami for the last week of the season. You've been indoors for the past 2 months freezing, and then all of a sudden you're in Miami where it's 75 and 90% humidity. You're like, bro, when do we get into training camp?
Yeah, exactly. Got to be outside, man. But credit to the Dolphins, Brian. Credit to Flores. It was looking a little scary. It was looking a little 1-7. Now to be 6-7. That's excellent, man. That's excellent. And I think with the inconsistencies we've seen from a lot of these AFC teams, they could definitely get in the dance. Man. Very possible. And I'm really interested to see what this division becomes over the next few years. Now seeing, what the Patriots have and rookie quarterback and Mac, we know what Josh Allen can do in his talent. And if, Tua could be a guy, and all 3 defensive-minded head coaches, with all 3 teams I just spoke of, it's going to be battles. It's going to be some battles. And, we really didn't see that during the Brady era with being that, really Miami had popped here and there, Jets popped here and there. Bills had a solid year, a slow sprinkle in there back when they had Bledsoe early 2000s. But this division is going to be, I think this division is going to be really good going forward.
I agree.
All right. And then we got the last game of the week, Cowboys and the Saints. Just all I got to say about this one is Taysom Hill's just not a starting quarterback.
Thank you. That's all I have. I literally nothing. I'm so sick of the Taysom Hill crowd, bro. Yeah. I never understood it from the beginning, and now all of a sudden I was supposed to believe he was a quarterback. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Yeah, it's just 4 interceptions.
Like looking like Lamar out there, you know what I mean? No, yeah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It was rough. It was rough. Cowboys, they needed that win after folding on Thanksgiving Day. So
that is true. Sold like
big,
a
important
gym
win.
membership right there. How you know what I mean? Shout out State Farm.
State Farm, word. All right, here we are.
You need a sponsor?
Word, pull up, guys. Thank you.
I'll give you the Rogers rate, bro. You feel me?
Thanks. All right, we got week 14. Week 14 picks. You know, Connie and I do this every single week. Pick out teams for Sunday coming up. We got Steelers and the Vikings. Who you rolling with?
CJ. I don't have faith in them, but I'm going with the Steelers because I don't think Thielen is playing in this game, had the high ankle sprain, and Dalvin Cook is still going to be out. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh as well. Just
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller Ben. Just, you know, last legs and arms left, man. Just trying to make
like a C3PO out there.
Trying to make a run. But nah, I feel like the defense, you know, they got back to the drawing board against the Ravens. I think they keep it up against the Vikings and get this W. Cowboys, Washington. Who you rolling with?
Ooh.
It's a good game. This is gonna be a good game, man. What game is America's game of the week? Is it this one, right?
Probably. I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to be able to see it, of course, because we have to watch the Jets. But
tough.
Or well, actually, no, wait. That should be a Fox game.
Fox game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Giants play anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what time. I don't know what time though, but yeah.
I guess we're gonna find out. Man, oh man.
At FedEx Field.
It's true. But I remember this game on Gen Z that I picked. So I don't want to be, too timing out here. So I'll stick with the team I picked. I actually picked the Cowboys. I did. I wanted to be Washington.
You're picking the Cowboys a lot lately, man. What's up, bro?
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to, I need a better pick record on this show than I have on Gen Z, I'm losing to Josh, who I beat by about 20 last year. So that's how I'm doing this year. Listen, I just think the Cowboys come out and do it, man. Michael Parsons, big game. I'm feeling a big game out of Mr. Parsons over here.
I'm rolling with the boys as well. I think the defense played really well last week.
Look at you getting on me for picking the Cowboys and pick them anyway.
I know, but you be hating on the Cowboys. Dak, you feel me? That's why I was getting on you about that. I'm like, you picking them, bro? But nah. The defense played really solid last week on Thursday Night Football. And I just think the offense is going to get back clicking again. They kind of had a little stagnant period where, guys were missing and the chemistry was a little off. I think they get back in tune against Washington. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Dallas gets the W. We got an AFC South showdown, Jaguars, Titans. I got the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close game. I think it's going to be close, though, because
I can see it.
Not a lot going.
Playing the best lately, I'll tell you.
Yeah, not a lot going for that offense over there in Tennessee, but still got Tennessee getting a W though. Got the Seahawks and the Texans going with Seattle.
Yeah, I'm sticking Seattle, man. Especially because Tyrod's out now.
Yeah. I don't think that would have made that big of a difference. I got Raiders Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs too. God, do I hope the Raiders win though. I really do. I don't think they will, but I hope.
I don't think they will. I just don't trust Vegas, man. It's up and down. Saints and the Jets. Snooze fest. Who you got?
I got a nap during this game, but I'll go with the Saints. I think their defense will play better than the Jets' defense can play, even though Taysom Hill's probably going to turn the ball over like 3 more times.
Yeah, I gotta go with New Orleans, bro. I don't see too much from that offense over there in Jersey / New York. Falcons and the Panthers. Cam's respawn game. Who you got?
Listen, I picked the Panthers on Gen Z, but I only picked them because I didn't want this to be a game that I lost to Josh. But in my heart, I think the Falcons win, so I'm going to pick them.
I'm gonna go with Carolina. I just don't see. It's NFC South showdown, but the inconsistent the offense is just it's not working. It's not working right now in Atlanta, and I know the Panthers fired Joe Brady, offensive coordinator. We didn't forgot to talk about that because the Panthers had a bye week, but maybe that changes some things. They still don't have McCaffrey, so that's still a big loss. I think it's going to be a mid game, but I think Cam makes enough plays. Got Carolina, Ravens and the Browns, round 2. Who you got?
Give me the Brownies here. Coming off a bye, I think Baker rested up a little bit. Hopefully, he's still going to be hurt.
I would hope so.
He's still obviously going to be injured a little bit, but they got both their running backs. Coming off a bye, they'll have a nice game plan. Now no Marlon Humphrey. Teams just blitz the holy hell out of Lamar now, and he doesn't know what to do. So I expect the Browns to do that as well. A game plan against him. I'll take the Browns and at home.
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns. I just think the Ravens have just way too many injuries, especially in that secondary, like you talked about. And then on offense, just asking Lamar to do everything. It's just not a recipe for success. So I'm going with Cleveland in this one. Chargers, Giants. I got the Chargers.
Yeah. Not much of a question.
Broncos and the Lions, even though the quarterback play for both of these teams are not great, but I'll go with the Broncos defense against Detroit.
I will as well. But let me tell you, I'll say this: not shocked if the Lions win. They're a sneaky team. Like you look at the Jets and the Giants, and you expect bad teams to just get blown out, like always. The Lions don't really get blown out. They've lost a lot of games by one possession. So if it was tight at the end, wouldn't be surprised.
If the Broncos lose to the Lions, we might see Drew Lock in there, bro. I'm serious. If the Broncos lose to the Lions with Teddy there at home, we might see Lock. We might see. Remember, Vangio's job is on the. Vangio's job can be on the line. Right? There's no guarantee he's going to keep the job after the season. So we might see a switch up, maybe. We got the Niners and the Bengals.
It's a big game.
Big game for both teams. Yes. I got the Niners.
I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Okay.
At home, I know Burrow's fingers hurt, but God, do they need this game?
Shit, both teams need this game.
Yeah, this is almost the worst week for them to play.
Facts. Bills, Buccaneers.
This is the game of the week.
No wind, no gust. It's in Florida, so I definitely see some more points on the board. I got Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I got Tampa as well, but this is going to be close. Bucks passing defense obviously hasn't been good all year, and I know we said it's going to come down to Brady and Rodgers for the MVP. Josh Allen beats Brady in his own stadium, has a good game. Josh Allen is still right there.
Very true. If he's able to do this, able to beat Brady in Tampa, that would be a good one. Rivalry, a lot of history, but got the Packers. Bears, similar with Green Bay, Sunday Night Football.
Listen, is the hammer and nail really a rivalry, or are they just two, adversaries, to say the least? I'll go with the Packers here.
Yeah, likewise. Then NFC West showdown.
Monday night, baby.
Important game for the Rams. Very important game for the Rams. The Rams definitely need this more than Arizona. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I mean, they lost the first one against Arizona in the beginning of the season. Got blasted actually.
Yeah.
But I think the Rams bounce back and split the games.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Reason being, they beat them earlier in the year, like we said. That was kind of the game that made us take notice. I think this is the game where, we're still doubting them. They stick the fork right in the Rams and say, yeah, you thought you had something here. No. we're still up from here.
All right. That wraps up week 14 picks, guys.
CJ doing a wonderful job as always, giving us the picks. I mean, I can't ask for much better. You know what I mean? But with that being said, that also basically ends the show as always. But CJ, tell the people where they can find you before we head on out.
Yep, you can find me on Twitter at cjames9_, like you see on the screen for all the viewers watching us on all platforms. cj.james9 on Instagram as well. Garda Podcast, Forever New England Podcast. Yeah, thank you guys for listening, watching every single week with us.
Oh, my man, busy out here, 3 pods every day. I see him out here. That's what I like to see. As for me, Anthony Conover _ is the personal Twitter, of course. Get all my thoughts that, of course, everybody cares about there. Monday, 7 Eastern, Generational Sports. Me and CJ. Me and Josh break down everything from UFC to football, basketball. I sprinkle in some baseball when Josh isn't looking as well. Obviously, Tuesday, me and CJ do this every week, baby, 9 Eastern. And then Thursdays, I do Backstop Banter with me and Michael, talking everything in the baseball world. Obviously, a little difficult now that it's the off season, not only an off season, but a lockout as well. So we have some thoughts on that, obviously. And Gen Z Sports for the pod over there on Twitter as well, IG as well. So make sure you check us out everywhere. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in as always. CJ, we killed it again. I don't know. Listen, like we said earlier in the show, if you're not here at Tuesday 9 Eastern, I don't know what they're doing with their Tuesdays. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know. You guys are missing out. Definitely check us out, bro.
Well, another great one. We will see you.